If you've been looking for a way to design a professional looking banner without the professional price tag, I am your girl, because in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can do that using Canva. Stay tuned. Hey Hustle Babes, I am Chanel the Brand Hustler, and welcome to my channel where I share juicy tips on how you can level up your brand. If that sounds like something that you're interested in, make sure that you hit the subscribe button so that way you don't miss any of these gems. Today, I am dipping into my website designer bag because if you do not know, I actually owned an agency called the Hustle Babe Agency where we designed everything from logos to websites for tons of businesses ranging from fashion all the way to beauty. And I am channeling that energy with you today because I want to help you design fabulous looking website banners without needing to pay for somebody else to do it. This is going to be something that you can do on your own time, and it's really affordable, if not free, to do completely. And I'm going to show you how to do that today with a tool called Canva. But before we dive into that today, I want to know, what brand are you interested in leveling up? So take the time right now to hop in my comment section and let me know what is the name of your brand that you are watching this video to create website banners for. In this video, I'm going to cover everything from why and when you should be creating website banners for your brand. I'm also going to share my top 5 Canva design hacks that will have your website banners looking like you paid somebody $1,000 to do it, okay? And then we are going to cover design tips because I can't just show you how to do something and not give you the best or top tier advice, I should say. So make sure that you give this video a thumbs up because it is going to be so good and we are covering a lot, all right? So let's get into it. Now let's talk about why you want to design website banners in the first place, because a lot of people only design their website banners when they actually are starting their business and no other time, right? But that is the wrong thing to do. You actually want to make sure that you're keeping your website banners fresh and engaging. Your website banners should be kind of like a living and breathing piece on your website. They should update with the holidays, with the seasons, and honestly, they should align with your business and marketing goals. So if you are running a particular promotion, your website banner should display that particular sale or promotion. There are 7 individual times that I think are single-handedly the most important times to update your website banners. And that is 1, when you are launching your business; 2, when you are launching a new product, a new collection, a new line of something; 3, when you're running a special sale or promotion; 4, when the seasons are changing. People love to see seasonal things. Even if you do not have a new collection for that season, adjusting your banner to just match the fall aesthetic is going to draw customers in. 5, when you have themed campaigns. If you haven't been running themed campaigns for your brand, this is your sign to start brainstorming. You don't necessarily need a super large budget to run a theme campaign, but having a theme always keeps it interesting. Honestly, it makes having a brand more fun and it helps you put your brand outside of the box and push your creativity limits. 6, for regular maintenance, you should update your website banners just because. Like if you have new arrivals, why not update a banner to showcase your new arrivals? Why would you keep the same old banner that you had 8 months ago when you have new products and some of the things on the banner that you designed months ago are sold out? And then last but not least, when you are doing a rebrand or a refresh, it is super important to update your website banners. Now that I've shared all of the essential times that you should be updating your website banners, I want to hop behind my computer screen and show you my top 5 Canva hacks so that way you can design professional looking website banners without paying the professional price tag. Let's get it. Welcome to the back end of my Canva. I am so excited to be sharing these 5 Canva hacks with you to design your website banners, because trust me when I say it's going to be litty, okay? The first thing that you want to do is you want to create a new project. So in Canva, you'll just click where it says create a new design. Now, I like to create my website banners as a custom size, and I actually use 1880 by 940 px, okay? That will give you a banner size similar to this one on my screen. Now, let's get into these hacks. The very first hack that I want to share with you is called the background switch. So as you can see on this banner right here, you see that she has like a skyline behind her. The actual product is the dress, but I put her in a nighttime kind of city skyline to really give off the vibes, right? And so when you look at the actual picture, the picture looks like this. And although this is a great picture and it's very professional, it's very clean, we want to play around with it when it comes to the banners, right? This is a great picture for the product, for the product page itself, but for the website banner, which is the main attraction on your website, you want to give it some pizzazz. So I'm going to show you how to do a hack called background switching. First things first, I like to actually look at the picture. So I see what the picture is. I see that it's an evening dress. And now I think about the places that would make sense. To me, it makes sense to do a cityscape. So what I would do is I would go to photos in Canva, and then I would search night, sky, city. You can see all the different options that pop up. I might even do like skyline or city skyline, night. And then you see all these different options. And then I would literally just drag and drop different options. And I like to size it edge to edge. So I'm just gonna size it edge to edge to see which one I like, right? And so this is not the one that I like. I actually really like this one here. So I'm gonna lock this in. And then if you feel like it's not aligned, all you do is double click it. And you can slide it up or down. So for the sake of this, I'm going to slide it down a little bit. And I'm actually going to increase the size. So when you look at this banner, I've zoomed in the city almost to make it look like the tallest building is right behind her head, which is this blue thing. So I'm going to click here and I'm going to zoom in kind of big. I'm going to zoom in. And if it comes off the screen, you just have to chase it and then realign it. So I'm going to zoom in really big like this. And then I now have a new background, right? Now what I'm going to do is I actually want to blur this background, because when I put my model in front of the background, I want her to pop really well, okay? So I am going to click where it says edit photo. So make sure that the correct photo is highlighted. And I'm going to click where it says edit photo. I'm going to go to blur, and I'm going to adjust the blur intensity as needed to a point that makes sense for me, right? And I'm just going to click off once I'm done. And I'm actually going to make this skyline a little bit more big. And I want it to cut off a little bit like that. And this actually is bigger. All right, now we're gonna send this background to the back. You'll now see that your model is in front, and then we're just going to hit where it says edit photo to remove the background. Disclaimer, some of the features that I'm using in this video are going to be Canva Pro features, okay? However, I am going to leave a link in my description box, and I'll even pin it in the comments, so that you can start a Canva Pro trial for free, and you can test out these features and create your banners and everything completely for free at first, and get your banners created. If you absolutely love Canva Pro, you can stick around. It is highly affordable. It is only $12.95 a month. I pay for Canva Pro for me and everyone on my team. So it is really, really good. And even if you have an assistant or something like that, or you have a large team, Canva now allows you to have up to 5 people, I believe, for only $12.95, which is insanity. Okay. So boom, I got my model selected. I'm now going to hit background remover, and I'm going to let Canva work its magic. It's worked its magic. And now I want her head, like her face, not to be seen because I want the dress to be the main attraction. So all I'm going to do is size this. And I have this pet peeve of cropping it. So just by pulling it up, you actually crop it versus it like hanging over the bottom like that. And then all I'm going to do is then center it. So look for this line, center it, and I'm going to size it a little bit more. Bada bing, bada boom. And then now I've completely removed the background from this model's picture. And then I've switched the background for a background that makes more sense for the item that I am rocking. Now I'm going to walk through exactly how I made this banner right now. And then for the remaining hacks, I'm just going to show you what the hack is. But I want to walk through how I made this banner for font and everything. That way you see a full walkthrough of making a banner, but I'm not going to do it for all 5. So let's get it. So this is going to serve as my welcome banner. And I made up a name, Welcome to Luxe Fashion. So what I like to do to add some pizzazz, and honestly, this is like another hack, is I like to add words and then fade them out. So what I'm going to do is head to text. And then I'm just going to add any text, and I'm going to type the word fashion. Okay, this can be any word. And then I am going to find a font that I like. So I like using script font for stuff like this. This one is going to be called Citadel Script. I'm going to make it super large, really, really big. And then I actually want to reduce the spacing in between my letters a little bit. Just a little bit so that they connect like that. All right. And then I'm going to size it so that fashion reaches this edge. And now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to align this at the bottom and then fade it out and then place it behind the model. Cool thing about Canva, you can now have layers. And so I can go to layers and then see where I want the fashion to appear, whether I want it to appear at the very top or whether I want it to appear below a certain thing. And I want it to appear only below the model, but not below the cityscape. So now I put it like this, where it says fashion going across, right? And I actually want to make it a little bit bigger. All right, so now it says fashion going across. And I just realized my model is actually too big. There we go. All right, and now I'm gonna do my words on top. So what works with script font is when you have a plain serif font to complement it. There's actually a thing called font relationships. So I am going to type, literally I would just add my text by hitting this and then typing welcome to. And then for me to make it all caps, I would highlight it, hit this button, it would switch it, and then I just find my font that I need from over here and switch out the font. The font that I use for these are a mixture of Avner, and then it's not bold at all. And then I use Medio Roman for the other words on this banner, okay? So this is Avner 58.4. This one is Medio, or Medio, I should say, 163. And what I did with this part, though, is I adjusted the spacing to be -95. And then on effects, I added a lift effect. So without the lift, it kind of blends in a little bit to the background, but with the lift, it pops out. Okay, so I'm just gonna act as if I added this text, paste it here, make sure it's aligned. There we go. And now I am going to add my button. Go to elements, select a shape that you like for a button. I like having square or rectangle buttons, I should say. So I'm gonna size this button to be the size that I want it. And I'm gonna align it. I want it to be blank on the inside. And then I want the border to be white. And you can make the border as thick as you want or as thin as you want. I'm gonna keep it at 4. And I'm keeping the inside completely blank so that way I can add words to it. So now I'm just going to use the same words I used for welcome to, and I'm gonna drag it down here. And I'm gonna put the words shop now, but I want these to be closer together. So bada bing, bada boom. And then I'm gonna center it. So now I have welcome to Luxe Fashion, shop now. And another thing too, you can actually make your button less or more round by hitting where it says the border and then reducing corner rounding. Okay? And then that's how you do the background switch as well as some other stuff. So whoo, that was hack 1. Now let's speed through the rest of these hacks. The second hack that I want to show you is called fade to black. So as you can see on this particular banner, I've faded out the image itself and I have the words popping out, okay? So pretty much what I did with this is I took the same style that I did this banner with, right? So what I would do here is, let's say I was starting with this banner. I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to erase these words real quick. And then what I did to get this fade to black effect is all I did is simply I made sure that behind the image, it was black. So if behind your image is not black and it's white, it's going to fade to white. So you want to remove your background image by just sliding it and then make sure that you select this and make it black, because if it's white, it's going to brighten it up like that. We want it to basically black out. So once I make sure that my background is black, I put my background image back, I align it. And then what I'm going to do is I now want to match this model's picture with the same blur amount as the background. So I'm going to go to edit photo. I'm going to go to blur. It says it's blur 20. So now I'm going to blur the model to 20 as well. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to begin fading both of these pictures by clicking transparency. And I'm going to fade this down. So my background was already at 90. I'm going to bring it down to when I feel like I like it. So 50 looks pretty good to me. I can click my model and I can bring her down a little bit as well. I'm going to leave her at 70. And now I've applied my fade to black effect. You can black it out as much as you want. The reason why I have my model at a higher transparency than my background is because if I fade my model out too much, the cityscape is going to show through her body and I don't want that. And then you can add whatever words that you want on top of it. So I like the blackout effect, especially for blackout sales, Black Friday. It makes a lot of sense, right? You put the words on it and these words just literally pop out, right? Like they literally pop out at you. So that is hack number 2, which is the fade to black effect. The third hack, and possibly my favorite, is what I like to call the 3D depth effect. Okay, so looking at this banner right here, it actually has the 3D depth effect. To the naked eye, it looks very similar to the background switch banner that we did. However, there's a slight difference. Can you spot the difference? If you can spot the difference, let me know what the difference is in the comment section right now, and don't cheat. Pause the video and type your answer. Let me know what the difference is if you spot it. Drum roll, please. Because the difference is her elbow is behind the words on this one, whereas her elbow is over the words on the 3D depth effect. So let's walk through how you can do this for your banners. I love the 3D depth effect because it just adds depth and personality to any image that you are designing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this one so that we don't start from scratch. And all you're going to do literally is you want to figure out what element of the banner you want to have 3D depth. The elements of this banner, it makes sense for the 3D depth to come from the model because that's the popping thing here. And then it makes sense that the what we're playing around with depth with is going to be the words. It just makes a lot of sense. So all I'm going to do is click her and I'm going to duplicate her like this. I'm going to align her exactly where she is, but what I'm going to do is make sure that when I hit position that the one I duplicated is at the very top, okay? Or at the top of whatever I want her to pop out from. So I'm going to keep her at the very top. Now the trick is to just align her perfectly. But right now she's blocking everything. All you're going to do is crop whatever it is that you don't want off. You see that? It's like a slide effect. Slide, now you see the words, and whatever you don't like, whatever you want her to be in front of, you just keep that portion. So I want to see the full button and the shop now sign, but I want her elbow to pop out over the IO. Now, bada bing, bada boom, it looks like she's literally has the words in between her armpits. That's the 3D depth effect. Here is another way that you can use it. I love using 3D depth effect with shoes because you walk in heels especially, it just gives a lot of oomph. So this one is the same thing, right? If I were to move this, you see that her leg is actually behind the words, but all I did was duplicate and then align the image and then crop whatever I didn't need to make it look like I'm walking over the A and the S. And then I have another one, same image, but instead you see how I play with the words, how I make things align. So you want to make sure that if you're using the 3D depth effect, you're showing 3D by somebody stepping into something or putting their arm over something. You want to make sure that it makes sense, right? Maybe you're kicking something or punching something. Like, you can do wonders with the 3D depth effect. That's why it's my favorite. The fourth hack that we are going to go through is called layering. So when you layer, this is what it looks like, right? Some people stop at this. So some people will create a banner, they'll have their product, and then they'll have whatever the words are, right? But when you layer, it looks so much better. So to get this effect, all I did was I duplicated my product. So let me zoom out a little bit. I duplicated my product a couple of times. And all I'm going to do is just figure out where I want to align it. I think it looks really good when you show that it's off screen. So I'm going to align it so that it looks like it's hanging off the banner a little bit. I then am going to paste one that looks like it's hanging off the banner, but from the top. These work very well when you angle them as well. So I have this tilted. It's not straight. It's tilted a little bit to the left as you left. Another thing when you layer is you want to add a shadow. So to add a shadow, you hit edit photo. All of your creative additions are in edit photo. And then you want to go to where it says shadow. And then you are going to hit drop shadow. Okay, that's how you would add a shadow. And so I have that. And then I'm going to do another one at the bottom. I like to make things kind of sort of parallel or in sync so it looks like a continuation. So because the top is hanging off like that, I'm going to bring this down like this so it looks like that's the same bottle. And then all I'm going to do is go to my positioning and I'm going to layer this one underneath. Look good, feel good. So that way I have this bottle is over the K, this bottle is under the S, this bottle is doing its own thing, and this bottle is on the look good, feel good. And now you have the layering effect just like that. And now you've added a level of oomph to your banners. Last but not least, my fifth hack is using specialty font. So when you're using advanced design softwares such as Adobe Creative Cloud, you have the ability to sketch different fonts and different things like that. Whereas in Canva, there's no way for you to actually sketch your own fonts. And that's like one of the pitfalls of Canva. However, what Canva has done is they've uploaded specialty fonts to their vault. So for example, this banner that you're looking at right here, this word candy was written with specialty font. If you have a really unique brand that has a theme, candy theme, grass theme, whatever the case may be, you can always look for special font. All you do is head over here to elements, you'll click elements, and then you'll search for whatever type of font you're looking for. So to get this font, I searched bubble letters. And you'll see that bubble letters came up in pink. They have some in blue. They have some different variations of bubble letters, such as these. They have a bunch of different versions of bubble letters. And usually once you select one, you're going to see Canva recommend other letters. And then when you hit see all, you'll pretty much see the full alphabet and you get to go through it and pick whatever letters you need. You can do the same thing with, let's say I wanted grass letters. I'd search grass letters. And then you can see that there's grass letters. You can pretty much search for anything that you want. Magazine letters. So I always say, like, give it a twirl and see what letters that Canva already has. And then you can use that to spruce up your banners versus using regular letters. You can spruce it up and make it a little bit fun, right? And then Notice that I have a background here too. So even when it's just a word banner, you want to make it fun by including fun backgrounds. So for this, it made sense for me to use something that looked like bubble gum a little bit. It matches my bubble letters and it gives me the vibe of candy, cotton candy to be specific. So this is a great and an easy hack for you to use for your banners. And you can bundle this with any of the other hacks that I shared earlier on in this video. Now, it wouldn't be me, I wouldn't be the brand hustler if I didn't include some extra sauce for you, okay? So I'm gonna share with you a few more hacks. It's like mini hacks, but I wanna share them with you because they can honestly elevate your website banners. The first hack is don't be afraid to use frames. This banner right here is created using frames. All you have to do is go to elements and then you can search frames in Canva and you can use these frames and then you can put your pictures in them. You can also go to Canva's grids even. Like they have grids if you want to do like a collage. You can go to Canva's grids, or you can search Canva's other frames by searching frame and then you'll open up a bunch of frames. So this one that I used is actually this frame right here, which is called Simple Film Frame. And then all I did was drag and drop my images into it, okay? So all I'd have to do is literally drag and drop a picture into it and then, you know, align it as needed. And then I rotate it as needed, bada bing, bada boom. As you can see from the background, I added a background, I blurred it, and I used the fade to black effect, and then I added frames on top. So all these hacks can be layered on each other to make a really awesome banner. The second added like little sprinkle on top I want to give you is you can actually use outlining. So this right here, I outlined the actual product. And to do this, it's very, very simple. So let's say I took this product, right? I'm gonna remove the background. This is my product. Now I'm going to go to where it says shadows, and it's kind of confusing, right? Because it's in shadows, but go to shadows, click outline, and then it automatically outlines it. I can switch the colors to make it white. I can increase my size as big as I want. I can decrease the intensity so that it fades, or it could be really blunt. I can adjust the angle if I need to. I can adjust the blur amount if I want it to be more of a halo effect. Y'all, trust me when I say that these hacks make your banners look so professional. Like if we were to look at all of these banners that we've created here today, I'm gonna show you how good they look. Like, look at this. Look at this banner. It looks so good, right? It looks so good. This is our blackout, right? This is our 3D depth effect, 3D depth effect, 3D depth effect, our layered. Then you have the specialty font. You have a combination of elements plus the frames. And then you have combination of elements plus the outline. There's no way you cannot create bomb branding for your website. There's no way. Now, this is something that you can use for website banners, YouTube banners, email banners. You can use these hacks for any type of banners. I'm using these hacks to create a banner for my new YouTube channel. So you can use these hacks to create banners for anything that you'd like. But because we went over website banners today, make sure that you challenge yourself to update your banners and give us some extra jizz so that way you can have a bomb.com visual brand, okay? I promise that if you use those 5 hacks, your banners will begin to look better immediately. But before I wrap up this video, I want to share a few design tips with you because these are crucial, okay? If you utilize my hacks, but you do not follow these 3 crucial tips, your banners are not going to come out the way that you planned, and it's not going to give the wow factor or convert your audience in the way that you imagine. Tip number 1, you want to make sure that you're using captivating imagery. And by captivating imagery, I am speaking about high quality images that are realistic and they also have some type of lifestyle element to them. When you go to Fashion Nova's website, for example, Right now, you'll see that they're advertising their winter collection. So they have banners that have snow. They have the ladies in the big coats with the big aviator type shades on. It looks like they're by a glacier. Like, they are putting things into a realistic yet creative perspective. And on top of that, their pictures are super high quality. If you were to zoom into that banner, you will not see a pixel for a very, very long time because the pictures are crisp and they are making a captivating image when they actually put it on the banner. The second tip is to make sure that you have clear messaging and font. I absolutely hate seeing websites that just got too much wording going on, especially when you sell a product. Your banner, and honestly, your entire homepage is not your diary. It is a place that should be visually appealing while giving enough information to actually convert the person that is on your website. So on your banner, you want to think about the clear messaging that needs to be on there. What needs to be said, why they need to know it, and what they need to do next. That's it. So if they need to know about a sale, what's the percentage off? If they need to know like why they need to know that, what is the collection and why is it important? Like, is it expiring soon? And then what's the next step? Is it a shop now button? Is it a browse? What does that look like? Those are the 3 types of messaging that you need to have on your website, nothing more. Tip number 3 is you want to make sure that you have consistent branding. If you are creating a website banner set to match a certain theme, all the website banners need to match that theme. If you are just doing a brand refresh or a rebrand, then you need to make sure that your banners actually match your style guide for your brand, okay? All of your banners need to make sense together. They're a family and they work together. They shouldn't look like separate banners trying to do separate things. They need to have some type of consistency and they need to be cohesive. Now, we've covered why you need to switch up your banners and when you should switch them up. I've also shared with you my top 5 Canva hacks and some extras. And then we talked about the design tips that you need to make sure that you utilize in order for you to get professional quality looking website banners without having to pay a professional to do so. If you made it this far in this video, I want you to comment down below bomb.com brand to prove that you are a true hustle babe that made it all the way to the end of this video. Give this video a thumbs up, share it with someone that you know it can help, and honestly, leave a comment. Leave a comment about your favorite part if you have a question, but also leave the comment bomb.com brand if you made it all the way to the end of this video. Make sure that you check out my social media pages at The Brand Hustler on everything, Instagram and TikTok, and subscribe and stay tuned for the next video. And I'll see you later, Hustle Babes. Bye.